I guess we're live. We're live. Let's go. Just another video. Luckily it said it was private. Yeah, it's not private anymore. Let me just verify. Nope, it's public. It's public. We should be good to go. Alright, let's get going. Lots to do today. Lots of things to play. I think we got some pet. Oh, we got a new pet. Let's go with 3 feeds. I don't think this is gonna work, but we'll go with it. Oh, it's now following. How about that? What's up, David Luna? What are you doing this Sunday, bro? Broski, bro. I'm gonna see. You guys should be able to see this whole thing pretty clear. I guess I could make it a little bigger. I guess I could do like 1 step up or 2. Yeah, that should be pretty easy to see. Yeah, it looks good. Looks tight. Looks tight. Well, we got some games to play today. And we got some things to take care of. So let me make this screen smaller. Make that screen. Oh, no. I didn't mean to do that. Make this screen bigger. Maybe that'll help out a little bit. Alright, yeah, that looks good. Looks solid. Let's fix this. Sorry, guys. Sorry. We'll make it a little bit bigger. And center it. That should be good. Well, what is everybody doing today? What is going on, man? Tell me something good. I think we're getting ready to start a CoN game too. If you guys wanted to get into the community game though. What's up, Unknown? How's things going? So let me load up this CoN screen. I didn't actually play my CoN turns this morning, so I'm probably gonna do that. Probably gonna log into CoN. Show you some games that I'm getting smoked in. What's up, Night GG? What up, player? Alright. I don't know. This one, I think this is our Europe game. I'm sorry, it's an Asia game that we're fighting in Europe right now. I'm going to give it. The stream's buffering for you. Yeah, you know. We'll see what it says. Is it buffering for everybody? Everybody? Oh yeah, this is a match that this is our old community game that Alright, that should be a little bit better once we get back live. Let me know, guys. Let me know when you guys are back in. Yeah. It should be a lot better. I just, for some reason, my internet was slow, so I hotspotted my phone. It should be a lot better now. So anyway, I think we're getting ready to start a community game too. I'm waiting on HJ and those guys to figure that out. But what I'm gonna do is save my my rare materials because I'm only gonna do the 4 units that I'm gonna build. So again, those are gonna be infantry. MRLS, railgun, and SAMs, right? And you guys know what all the purposes for each of those. Infantry is just to take territories. SAMs is defense from planes. The railguns are going to be ranged as well as defense because they do have an anti-aircraft component to them. And then the MRLS, which is going to be long-ranged attacking, right? So those are the 4 units I'm going to build for this game. But right now, because we're so early in the research, I can't build like the next level. It's only day 2. I'm not going to go with any tank. The only support, I may build radars too. Even though the railguns do. So I'll show you why railguns are so good. At level 1, you're going to have a radar. You're going to have like the signature. it can be detected by radar, but you're gonna have a max of 3, right? So then when you go to the next level and you upgrade them, look at all that happens. Like you're gonna get an attack range boost. You're gonna have anti-air of a 75 range. You got NBC protection, and you can airlift them, right? And then when you go to like the top layer on day 28, you're gonna be able to look and see that you're going to be able to move them. They have an attack range of 75, that's a good attack range. That's why you add the multiple rocket launchers with them. And then again, the anti-aircraft now goes out 100, and it will shoot down missiles at the top range. And so you can, if you don't have a THAAD, like they'll work if you have a stack of them. Like 5 or 6 of these in a stack can be completely deadly, but they can be killed by MRLS, because the multiple rocket launchers will get first hit at 100, right? Because these guys are only going to attack at a 75. They'll defend against aircraft at 100. So if you put a MRLS out of range on a hilltop, let's say on a mountaintop, at 100 that are out of range of this railgun, you can chew through a stack of railguns with your rocket launchers. And so I like those, and that's the reason why I use this as a unit, but I use these as a defense. Because look, it's going to hit a plane at an 8.5 and a 7 and a missile at a 9. So if you could imagine having multiple of these, and what you can do is you can stagger these out, which gives you multiple hits, right? So if a missile or a plane is coming in, you're going to get a first hit, and then anything that's alive gets a second hit by your second stack. So if you're a really active player and you want to move them around, railguns are kind of the way to go on there. So, and we do have some commands available. I'm waiting to actually get... I'll explain more about this. I'm going to jump into this after we get through our CoN stuff, but I like to get those turns maxed out. So I know that I could do. I'm kind of landlocked, which is great, right? So playing Ontario, I could get ships in here, but there's really no need to. I could actually use some aircraft too that are quick response, but I'm just kind of a ground guy. I like to go through. I like to chew through VPs and then conquer the territories. It just makes more sense for my play style. And I think we're watching for a new game to pop. I'm not sure HJ is on the stream at all, and we're halfway to 80, which is like another to get to the officer ranks. I won't be the sergeant major anymore. So, how do you join Discord? Someone can post the link for you in there, I guess. Let me see. Where can I get the link for the Discord? Yeah, I don't see it. Someone will post it on there, but you can go to one of my newer videos, and one of my newer videos will have the link in it. I'll show you. So if you end up going to just YouTube and searching for me, the B2, you'll see that it comes up on here. But you can actually just look back at one of my more recent ones. So let's go into the channel. If you go into the channel and where's, well, not popular uploads. Let's go to videos. So just go to the videos. Any of these ones back here, like this CoN one, when you click into it, into the script, the descriptions, gonna have this. So copy link address. So I always tell people just go back and look. But, oh, no, we don't want to redirect to that. That was a mess. Yeah, advertisement. Get it off. Get it off. But anyway, just go back to one of the old videos. Well, what questions do you guys have for CoN? Like for me, while we're here looking at maps and stuff, like what do you have as far as questions? I want to check through the guys that are on here. Yeah, so let's go back to the welcome. Well, there's a pretty good server community here. I'll tell you this, like any questions you need answered, you can come into here. What'll happen is if you scroll down, if you play Epic RPG, there's a channel for Epic black ads. You can come down through, you can get ERPG help for Epic RPG. They can ask questions. There's a ton of people in here who know this, right? If you come down to Conflict of Nations, there is asking for help in here too. So that's our battleground game. I don't know, not sure what that. How long I've been playing CoN? Since 2016, and I took about a 1.5 to 2 year break where I played a lot. I got involved with alliances and everything, but in doing that, like I really just got soured on the game because of the golding. And then we would try to start like alliance games and alliance matches. And what would happen is we would make a truce and say, hey, no war until day 10. And we'd all be like, great, we can build until day 10. But then we'd find out on day 6 someone was golding in units to start attacking. And I was like, oh, well, great, It's just you can't control the golding in alliance matches. And then so you end up with some alliances who are really, really high ranked. The other part that I hated about it was that you play for 6 months, nice. There are other alliances that are really good alliances who had lost their first match. And instead of honoring the fact that they went out and tried to fight, they would be golded by an alliance that got a victory. They would get a loss. If there was 5,000 alliances, now they were ranked in 5,000th place, and I thought that was unfair. I thought you should get like bonus points, so like let's say a win's worth 5 and a loss is worth 2, right? So that even if you lost, you moved forward in the rankings. Because even an alliance that loses 10 matches in a row still is getting better. They're getting better at the game. Their members are getting better. Like they should be getting better. They shouldn't be penalized and go backwards 10 losses. And then now all these obscure guilds or alliances that start an alliance are now sandwiched in the middle of active guilds. You want to keep your active ones out. So I even said, like, you shouldn't even be able to get on the alliance rankings unless you've done 5 alliance matches. And then that way it puts all the winners and losers up there, and all the scrub alliances that don't have any victories or losses, you just kind of push them off of that ranking. But, nothing ever changed. I got tired of it, so I just kind of got out of the game for a little bit. And then I lost internet connection, which was the hardest part. And after losing internet connection, I just kind of lost interest in the game. There was no mobile version back then to stay active. But now that we've kind of solved some of the internet issues and things are going well, then I was like, okay, well, I can jump back into playing and kind of getting things done, right? So I did, and that was probably January of last year. So I've probably been back online for about a year, doing YouTube stuff. And so even on my channel, I think you can see, like, if I look back through the channel and look back through my studio, I don't mind showing you guys this. But on the content side, if I look through, you can see the ages of the videos, right? So you'll be able to see like August 20 here. I started to put out some videos back again kind of early last year. And let's see. I did a lot in February. But you can see, well, actually all the way far back in December. Man, I put a lot of videos out in a year. I didn't realize I had done that many. Yeah, there you go. See, I went from February 23 of 2018 here, where I was doing like Clicker Heroes and some CoN videos, some older stuff, to like November of 2019. So I went like a year and a half without putting a video up. I started getting back into some games, playing Lords, Million Lords. I love that game, by the way. So I just started putting videos out about a year and a couple months ago again, and I've already gotten up to, if you look at Social Blade, so I kind of track everything on Social Blade for the channel. You can see how it all started getting bigger, like, towards the end of last year, and then boom, it went all the way up. Like the month of December was probably my biggest month on there, but you can see, yeah, don't let this thing lie to you. I'm not making $4,000 a year on YouTube. That's a complete overstatement of what I'm actually doing. But so anyway, that's kind of how I track it and how I look at my content. And so as I look through analytics, I can see on here like subscribers and all that stuff, and you can see where it kind of jumped back up, at the end of last year. So anyway, that's the behind the scenes stuff on there. I had a question: if you're in coalition when playing, does your coalition win, or is it just you fight as a team to the end? So great question, Ellie. And welcome to hanging out today, by the way. And then Tom T. Neeson, how you doing? So the coalition would be up here, right? Meaning that you have to have so many VPs to win. This is as a coalition. So if you're a solo player, it would be 1/5 of that, or like whatever it is, 700. Yeah, making that sweet cash. Not very much so. And I usually put it right back into the community. So like some of the guys that have been playing with me for a while, we put up a Minecraft server. I've paid for some copies of Minecraft for a few guys. I pay for one of the mods to play on Epic RPG to get the boost. I typically will put the money back into the community. We are probably going to start a Bedrock realm for Minecraft probably next weekend. What's up, Nanoop? Thanks for dropping by. So just so you know, like I don't take all that money and run to the hills, basically. So it's glitching for you. I don't think so. It's all on green for me. Like everything that I have right now is showing that it's good. So that would be on your connection this time, playa. I really just got back into CoN. Yeah, BV, what's up, buddy? Haven't seen you in a while. Yeah, I love CoN, man. It's just one of those games that I go back to, and I like it because it is one of those games where if you play on 1X, you can't get beat in one day, right, without golding. So 1X affords me the ability to not have to log in 5 or 6 times a day. If I'm playing a 1X game, I'll normally log in the morning, and I'll log in the night, about 12 hours apart, and I'll make the moves that I need for the next 12 hours. And then I can slowly chew across the map and defend myself pretty good. Hello, my friend uses mobile artillery over multiple rocket launchers. What do I use? So CoN, Conflict of Nations will always be a game of counter, attack, counter attack. And so what happens is you end up having to see what's on the board. But I can't see what's on this board, right? So I don't know. But if your friend is using multiple rocket launchers, it means that they have a pretty good range. So if I go into the artillery, right, and I look at it and I say, if I go to the end here, because you never want to start researching unless you're going to go all the way. Like it's a waste to just go the first level because they typically don't have the range, and I'll show you what I mean, right? So on a multiple rocket launcher, if I come into here and I look, the attack range is 75. That's pretty good for a starting unit, honestly. But if I come to the end here and I look, they can engage at a range of 100. And 100 on land is actually pretty far. But if I go to mobile arty here, you're going to see they can only engage at an 85. So then if I go to the next one, towed artillery can only go to a 75. So if I'm looking at artillery units, I'm going to look at this multiple rocket launcher because it engages at a range of 100. Meaning that if someone's coming at you with a stack of whatever they have, but the attack range is only 50, like a stack of infantry, right? So you got a stack of infantry coming at you with no other units, they can only attack at a range of 20. So if you're in a 1X game, your artillery's probably going to get 2 shots at this other unit before they engage. And you see you're playing this distance game. So you could actually move within range and set them to move backwards to your town and get a shot off and then get into town where you're protected and get a second shot off. And if you have a stack of 4 or 5 rocket launchers, it's just going to do a huge amount of damage, right? My friend uses tanks, so total tanks are useless, but he doesn't want to stop using them. I'll say this. So we have that debate all the time on the server, right? Like, are tanks useless? Or I'm gonna play some Epic, but I just need to keep my cooldowns off on here. So I'm gonna swap back and forth while I'm playing some CoN. But here's the deal. So you're saying like a main battle tank. Let's say that you have a stack of infantry, of 10 infantry, right? And so I come in here and I look at here and it says motorized infantry has how many hit points? 25 at max, right? Let's just assume that they're not going to be in water, but you have a max of 25 in here. Now you're going to have some defensive modifiers that make them, worth. So you got be careful. Like if you're in cold, you're going to have a minus modifier, but they're going to have 25 hit points. So if I have a stack of 10 infantry, that means they have 250 hit points. But what would happen if I put 7 infantry at 25? Like, who's got the quick math on that? 7 times 25, right? So I don't like the math. I'm going to calculate it just so I don't get it wrong. You're going to have 175 hit points. But let's say I put 3 battle tanks in there at max level, and they're going to add another 55 hit points. Now that has 325 hit points versus 150. Do Do you see why like having a couple of tanks in there would extend that? Oh, and by the way, they're going to fire on infantry at a 13, right? So you can do a mix stack and put 1 or 2 max tanks in there, but they're going to move slower on land. They're just going to be available to defend. And if that person has a tank or a tank destroyer, you definitely want something that's going to punch some power in there, on there. So you say, well, gosh, B, why would I do a tank destroyer? Well, I'll show you. So you can do a tank destroyer. You could go in here. They're only going to have 38 hit points at max, but they're going to be great. They're going to hit other tanks at 16. I just think for the money and for the resources, if you go on a main tank, that's probably, going to be a little bit. So I got a message, which I'm assuming means, yeah, glad I could help play. You just started playing 2 weeks ago. Watched all your video tips. Hey, man. Anytime. So, so you get it, right? So it's not bad. It's not horrible. But when you're talking about attacking and land, like you really want to counter whatever you're going up against. So let's say that if I start moving into New York and he starts sending choppers at me, I don't have anything to defend against choppers. If you look at my units and I pull them open, they're only level 1 right now. See, there's just level 1. And there's just a 0.6 against choppers. So I have to have a 10 stack of them to do 6 damage. So I think this game is full on here. You can see the game ID. You can check yourself. That's the game ID. So you can plug that number in and see if there's an open spot. So then if I start running into choppers somewhere in here, anywhere while we're taking this land, then I gotta now suddenly defend against choppers. So the only thing that I can do is come back in. There's a couple of moves you can do. I can come back into tanks and I can do an armored fighting vehicle. See, at max on an armored fighting vehicle, you're going to do a 3. So if you have 4 of them, you'll do 12 damage on a chopper. It's enough to keep someone backing out, right? So, but I can also come in and do the support side. I can run anti-aircraft here, and now that's going to hit choppers at a 5-5. But if I do a max anti-aircraft, then it's going to be hitting at an 11 on choppers. So if you can put 5 of those together, then it would be good to defend against choppers. But you see how that is. The other thing is that you can go on the offense and say, well, I'll just get some air superiority fighters and hit them at a 7-5 because they're not going to be able to hit back. So you see there's a couple of options you have on there. So what are the best units for you? YOLO, I prefer ground. I don't like to play naval, and I only play air when I have to. I just usually defend against those. And so what I'll do is I'll come in, and because I've been playing for a while, to defend against naval, I'll come in and get the elite subs if I need to. And then the elite subs, they hit pretty hard against other subs and other ships, 19 and 15. So you go in there. I don't use the gold a whole lot. Like, I'll usually just rack it up and save it unless I have to. Like, if I start at the beginning, like, let's say if I came into Buffalo, and then there was like 3 different nations in here, I'd use some gold to get in some defensive units. But usually I'll just save it and hoard it, I only use it if I absolutely have to. I find that I don't need the gold in most games, but I'm not afraid to drop a little coin if I need to, What's your favorite doctrine and strategy? Tim Murphy. So favorite strategy and doctrine. Let me go ahead and update this real quick while we're in here. And I think I need to set my my pets up. Oh, we got another pet here. Let's see. Did we get him? Yeah, it's now following. All right. So let me just get this last couple of things out, and then we're going to set our pets, and then I'll answer that question, Tim, and tell you. So I think I have some pets that are ready to go back out. They are. All right. So what I do with pets on the strategy here is I just combine them until I get what I need, right? So I know that's kind of ambiguous, but see how I have 4 level with basically a tier 2 and 3 level 1s is I would do a pet fusion, and then I would do M and O, and see what I get. I got a dragon pet 2, and then if I come back in, I should have 2 2s and a 1, so I'll fuse the 2s now, right? And then go M and N. And I got a tier 2 fast, but I'll just keep it at tier 2. And what I'll do is I've got enough fast in there. So Shooty, if you just do RPG area, and then whatever area you want to go to, like if I wanted to move to 1, I'd move to 1, RPG area, and I think I'm in 14 now, and I can move to 14. So that's how you would move along. But let me send these pets out on a mission. RPG pet. adventure, and then I think it's I learn, RPG pet, adventure, K learn, and then let me take a look at them. So anytime you have the elite pets, you can send multiple the epics in there. You can get them out. So those two are on the adventure. Now if I look at page 1, I think I have 4 on this one. Yeah, RPG pet, adventure A learn, RPG pet, adventure B learn, C and F. So C learn, RPG pet, adventure F learn. And I think that'll show that they're all out. And then I want to get this time traveler up. RPG pet, adventure D learn. So, yep, it didn't come back auto. So 4 hours from now would be 8 p.m. Eastern. I'll come back in and then reset these pets, right? So pretty cool. So, all right, so back to Conflict of Nations. And Tim, your question. I am a big fan of ground. And so everything that I do will be towards bolstering my ground game. Now the reason for that is that in the first 25 days, you can get more ground covered and win more battles if you just are using ground units with a little bit of cover. I know that sounds crazy, but you can spread out quicker, and the more land and the more cities you have, gives you the ability to build more units and everything, and to put more units on the ground to expand even further and further, right? But eventually around game day 25 to 30, somewhere in there, you're going to start encountering higher level units, and you're going to need to just set a defense and then kind of research up your next whatever's going. That also gives you enough time to see around the map, right? So like if I look, I know for a fact that that's the recon unit here and the starting 2 infantry. So really all that needs to happen is this person moves the 4 troops down and then combines them with the 2 and makes like a 7, that would be a 7 stack. They could take out Toledo while they're also trying to go in. See how they're fighting here? If I look at this Ohio, I can pretty much know that B-Dog is going to be fighting Pennsylvania. Well, they're fighting Indiana, Kentucky, and Pennsylvania all at one time, right? I also know that it's a level 54 person, so they're pretty smart. They've been playing the game for a while, but they're not going to expect for these troops to roll in. They're not going to have an answer for it. If they keep the 7 stack in here, they can pretty much go right to the capital from there. As you know, the other troops are now pushing out. You can see where they're at on the borders, right? And then you know that they're fighting all over the place. Like they're fighting in Illinois as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if Illinois is already, I think they're fighting Ohio, right? And that's part of my team. So let's say, yeah, they're not fighting them yet. So we're good on there. But you can see how you can look around the map. But for me, as far as like what I like to do on the ground is I like to sometimes just go armored fighting vehicles and infantry and just steamroll the first 25 days. Then I'll see what other units are on the map and start making the counters for them. So if someone's using heavy air, I'll just make a bunch of SAMs. And then anytime they get close, we just start shooting planes down. It makes it extremely expensive for a player to compete with you when you're countering their units. Meaning your multiple rocket launchers are firing from 100. So their 10 stack of infantry on the first hit goes to 7. On the second hit goes to like 4. And you see how they're not going to keep moving a 4 stack at you when they're just getting chewed up. They're going to pull them back. But now they've got to replace those 6 units that you shot basically. And it's going to take them a lot to come after you. So what is the best way to nuke someone from sub, boat, lawn, or air? Is there a limit on how many nukes you can use? Different LE, like that's you can pretty much send as many as you want, but when you start sending nuclear stuff out, you take a hit to your morale, and it's going to cause you to suffer unless you've built the number of bunkers to keep your morale up, or basically anybody with a spy can go through and tear you up from behind as well, because they can hit the morale in your cities, and if you're shooting nukes, so you just want to be careful with that. Should I get subs as Indonesia? I get these questions all the time about subs and boats and all this fancy stuff. But I can tell you what, if nobody around you is using ships, then why would you build ships, right? If you're building them from a defensive standpoint, get the elite sub, put those elite subs around, but you have to be careful where they're at. An elite sub has to stay in these coastal waters. So look on the tooltips, right? If I go into elite subs, and I look at the top unit, because again, don't build it unless you're going to take it all the way. It'll tell you down here, right? In high seas, it has a -50 and a -50 defense, right? And a lower speed value in open seas. But in coastal waters, it shoots at 100%, which meaning it's going to be doing 19 and 15 damage on attack and defense against these different units. Like, so that's what you want to be looking at, right? So if I'm Indonesia, and I don't have it on this map, but I'd have to stay in these coastal waters, see where it's lighter colored. You can see it all the way around. If you get out of these coastals and come into here, then these are going to be considered deeper waters, I think. I don't know about the Gulf here, but I know definitely out here is deep water. Those subs will be half as good. So they'll only be hitting at like 9.5 and whatever 7.5. So you definitely want to be on it. Let me flip back over to RPG and do a hunt as well. Want to keep these hunts up. And today's the last day for the Christmas stuff, so anything you get snow or presents, you're going to want to go through and redo, right? So I always build subs and SAMs. Yeah, that's a good one, Arnie. You're a beginner. How to get the new area? Answered that. Have I ever wanted to be a firefighter? No. I'm too fat to be a firefighter. When are you starting a new game? I heard there's a community game today. I think that the link is posted in there. The 366. So let's go ahead and take a look at this one, right? So let's go ahead and take a look at this link. New games. We'll post it in. So maybe? Question mark? New game? I don't think that's the link. It's not coming up. I think you got the wrong link, Chemically Blue. And nobody pinged me on the server. There we go. HJ said, no, he said that's the link. But I don't see it coming up. Let me see. Let me try it again. There we go. Now it's coming up. All right, let's join it. Let's see what we got. Let's see what's left here. Oh, there's a lot of cities left still. Good Lord. Let's see where everybody's at. HJ's in South America. Ice Pizza's in Thailand. Let's see. Army Man's in North Korea. Bad choice. You must have started random. Nigeria, Winter Soldier's a good player. Thandia's in Myanmar. Morocco, General EJK. Juicy's in Japan. Italy. Super User, Lord Tommy. Darth is in Finland. Man, everybody's all over the map at the start of this one, man. Bolivia. Your boy P-Dog. I don't know, man. The map is wide open. Huh. I don't know what to pick. Where should I go? Thailand, it's Ice Pizza. I don't know. I haven't played a Vietnam game in forever. Is it open? Vietnam is open. It's Peru. Haven't played a Peru game in a while either. Brazil was open, I think, too. It's random. It's not random. I can pick a country. Oh, you guys want to play at random. I got you. All right, I can select random. Let's see what it says. Ooh, Belarus. All right, well, I guess I'll take that town real quick. Everyone's like, join random. Get my guy in the air. All right, let me. RPG hunt hard. Train again. All right, I got another pet. Oh, this is gonna be a tough one. Let's just do 3 and then 3 pets and see what we get on here. Oh, I gotta spell it right. All right, board and left. Very shockingly done. All right, so we're good. The community game is in. Everybody's in. All right, so I'll tell you, I do the same kind of startup for most games. And even with Belarus, it's going to be a little bit. So the danger is that I'm going to get with Ukraine here. Who's Ukraine? Ukraine's a random person, so let's see what level they are. They're level 1, which are probably the most dangerous players because they just stack their units and just roll in. Poland is Cakeman, and Cake is a level 13. So you kind of want to make peace with your neighbors. Let's see the coalitions that have come up already. the EU one. So this user, that's quick, man, to get on there. Josh Posh Ruski. So Russia's the border over here. It typically makes sense to join. What's up, Kitsune? You're up kind of late, bro. You're up a little bit late, man. Everyone's messaging me private. Let's see. Random Nation. Watch your stream. Everybody wants to see their name on the stream. I get it. All right, so I think what's probably gonna be look at all these con newses, man. Holy cow! What's TFW? Who wants to join Mother Russia? B2 is joining. I love it when people just tell everybody that I'm in the game. That usually goes well for me. Not. Usually get ganged up on. Romania. I have Discord. I'm probably not going to start it, but Romania is a good one. They're down here. It won't be bad to pull that in, but I think I want to join. Let's see who else comes up. Africa. Thandia is starting in Myanmar. That's too far away, but I've played several games with Thandia. David Lunas, Cake Man. Where were you, Cake Man? Was that you down here? Who were you down here? No, I think you were Poland, weren't you? Yeah, man. We need to make a team, broski. Join Russia, and we'll team up with the Russian team here. Let's go ahead and apply. Russia and North Korea. We took in North Korea, old army man. We can do that though. Sweden offers a right away. Let's apply in there. Sweden. Who is Sweden? The Sweden here. Who's Sweden? L. Smith. Man, too many messages in the beginning. Shoot, I need to pay attention. Anyway, here's what I start with. So I like to come in on the research side, and you obviously have to do infantry day one. So we're going to put infantry in, and then let's say I don't know what I'm going to play for this one. I think I want to play a little bit of defense. I'm going to put choppers in. We get them day one, which is fantastic, right? So you got infantry and choppers running. That way anybody who brings in anything in gets beat up. Let's see the messages. We'll do the right away there. That's fine. You're watching me. I gotcha. Sweden's my bro. Join me. Oh shoot, I didn't see this until late. I already applied the other way. Let me see. Can I stop it? Can I stop it? Cancel. Okay, we withdrew. Let's jump in here with Austria. That's somebody a little bit closer. Hopefully we can double team some guys close. Going back to stream. Well, I wanted to do a little bit of streaming and get on with you guys. And so many articles. I'm gonna join B2. Yeah. All right, so then I want to go into building cities. It's easy. You can click on the top one and shift click the next one. You're going to need army barracks in all these towns, right? So there's only like 30 seconds or whatever, a minute and a half to build them. But you definitely want to get them going. And then you want to come right back behind it, and you want to put in arms industry level 1s, right? So it's going to, if you have the building queue thing, which I recommend getting Security Council, like that's the way to go on there. Austria right away, yeah. Or Poland, Cake Man, join up with the coalition that we just put on the stream. Some more articles being posted, man. And then we don't have the rares to do this. So typically my first move is to come in and buy out the cheap rares too, right? So I got another 37 grand. That way it makes it expensive for everybody else. I know it's a jerk move, but it makes it for everybody else a little bit more pricey if they want to get that next round of units in, right? So, thank you. So you can see if I always hit refresh now, it will tell me who we're allied with on there. So it'll start grading in the land. And so what you want to do is you want to connect with your allies quick. So let's hopefully Ukraine will join and Romania would join, and we can kind of like take a big section of Europe early, but I doubt that'll happen. Some more by the time I would be in sight range. Everyone loves to talk trash in the beginning of a game. Everything is so new and spicy. All right. What else do we have to do here? Is Daily ever? Oh, Daily is up. Okay. And I think I have a dungeon coming soon. Yeah, 37 minutes. So And this one's going to be an interesting one. I don't know if we're going to be able to get it or not, but we'll see. I'm trying to build up some supplies because I need 50 ultra logs for my next upgrade. It's gonna take me probably 4 or 5 days to get there, but that's cool. Thinking about joining, the nations that are available. I mean, there's quite a few, but see now the army bases are built, right? So let's see. Okay, I'm active. Who do you want me to accept? I mean, it's your coalition. Take who you want. Yeah, I don't want when I get into these games, I don't try to run anything. Like, I have enough stuff to take care of during the week. So now that all your bases are built, you're going to come back in and shift click again, and you're going to go right to building infantry. The reason why is like you're going to basically double up your army in 2 builds, right? So you want to have a pretty stout defense on here as you're moving out some of these to take land. I don't want to move out of my capital. I'm not going to move out of my capital. I'm actually going to probably pull units back to it to get a good defense. Because early on, you can just stack 6 units and go right to someone's capital. Kind of a jerk move, but it's just the way things happen, you know. But this one right here, I should be able to take Vilnius and then run. There won't be anything up here. I can take all this land early. That's Russian land. So you don't ever want to attack that if you see it, right? So anyway, that's the theory behind there. As far as like the U.S. game, you know, you're definitely we're gonna stack these up and hit Buffalo. I wouldn't mind hitting like Albany and taking out their capital, but I think what's gonna happen is all this war down here is gonna produce that automatically. But Maine's probably gonna get into it with them pretty quick down there. Yeah, I like to play. I like CoN. Hey Dave 153, what up, player? I do like CoN. It's a fun game to play, man. All right, so. Back over to Epic RPG for a bit, and let me see what my cooldown is. Yeah, the dungeon's 35 minutes away, so we may or may not see it on this stream, but we'll take a look at it. So, what about questions? What do you guys have for me? Do you guys have anything, questions? Conflict of Nations, Epic RPG, Minecraft? What do you have? Yeah, I'm Kenya. Yep, I don't run the COA. You got to go to the COA. Namibia. Yeah, I don't want to move anything out of here. I'm saving the rares. I'm doing that small build for you guys. Let's see what we have in... we can do the upgrade for today. Right on target. So we're 24 hours in. Usually takes till about Tuesday in the morning, heading towards Wednesday to get up to 85 or 90. So, man, Dave, I'm doing great, man. I appreciate you asking. Like, having a pretty good Sunday, to be honest. I actually have to go let the chickens out here in a little bit, so I'll probably only stream for like another 10 minutes. Waiting for Epic RPG. Yeah, man. I love Epic. And so, yeah, I was going to tell you, like, so if you go into $, and then you look at areas, so if I put in time travel 25 into the guide, I use it in the All Bots 3 because there's only a few of us that play in here, but it'll tell you, like, here's where I'm at. I've got a 1550 increased XP, but here's what I'm trying to get to. I need my horse to be over X or Y or whatever. It takes 850 million coins if you're less than T6, but that's because it costs money to do everything. But the president, I'm the president. Okay, Omar, what up, man? What up? Morocco's good. Morocco's so Morocco, you have to defend ground, air, and naval because they're right at the opening of the Mediterranean there by the Rock of Gibraltar and Spain. And so what happens is you have to defend that channel. You have to monitor who's coming in and who's coming out. If it's friendly, and then if it's not friendly, you've got to shoot troops that are moving in and out of their down to help save your coalition. The great part of Morocco is that it's pretty condensed in space and time. So let me see. Let me open up another game. Let's see if I can describe it better. I'm only T2, so I can't stalk you. Yeah. Well, if the T3 channel starts getting kind of crazy, I'll make another I'll make a Rough Riders channel. I don't like to play with more than a few active players, and when you get to tier 2 and tier 3, you get so many actives, it's hard to read and everything that's scrolling. So we're talking about Morocco though right here. Do you know that you can defend Morocco with like 3 THAADs, right? You can put a THAAD here that'll cover here, and one that'll cover there, and one that, like, basically for 2 THAADs you can cover all of your cities from incoming missiles if you upgrade them to the max, right? And then you can put a third or fourth one kind of further back. That way you get 2 shots at something coming in on you, right? So I love Morocco from that sense, but it is a very, very, very high visibility, and there's a lot of people that come in and out and around it. And so you inadvertently will shoot on naval pings if you can't see what they are. But it's pretty cool, man. I would say as far as countries that I really love and enjoy playing, I think I love playing Bolivia, and everyone just jokes me about it, but it's landlocked, so I don't have to have any naval vessels until I take these 2 port towns, which is what I take, and then I build naval on here, but that's after I've already taken 10 or 12 other towns. So, but yeah, Egypt's a good one. Ethiopia's a really good one because you get Sudan and South Sudan like right away, and if you get a pretty good coalition that includes like Chad, Egypt, Ethiopia, South Africa, maybe like Algeria, the bigger ones. You can really take Africa, and nobody fights Africa, so you almost get like the first 25 days for free without really having to fight hard for it, which means you don't lose a lot of units, which means you can now get on. But yeah, Chemically Blue, you're right. I mean, that's another one where so many people come in and out of this stretch. You're likely to get into wars just because you're firing on all the blue pings that come in, or at least I do. I'm pretty crazy, but I'm aggressive. And man, anything with a blue ping gets around me, it's going to get jacked, right? I'm sorry. If you're friendly, you should have given right away or something. But I don't like playing Europe in this section of Europe, like this downward section here. If I play Europe, it's got to be off to the side. And the reason why is that these units, they start so... It's like a gunfight every time you get in Europe. There's so many people that are in there playing, and you don't want to get... it's like you just don't want to lose things without... you don't want to lose units unnecessarily. And that's Europe for me, is like, you're going to get into a slugfest. The good thing about Europe is you can take... I'm your boy, P-Dog. Matty Crew, City Area 1. Matty, you just got to go into here on the server, broski. I don't know. You're probably on the server. You got to go into here and go into Epic RPG needs help. Like, well, there's a help right here channel for it. Go into that channel, and let's see if you're on here. I'll give you a ping on here. Yeah, ask for help here. The reason why is because I get that ping at least a dozen times a day, so it's hard for me to keep up with everything, man. I know you're just looking for a little bit of help, and I get it. Like, I'm all right with that. I'm all right with it. Let's see who pinged me in here. Another random ping. And that's TT1, so let's go in here, and then help channel at TT1, ask for help here. There we go. That's all I'm going to do every time you ping me, just so you know, because I don't have time to stop for all the randomness that comes in, but that's all right. As far as back on the maps, yeah, I do, and I like starting in Europe when we have a coalition of people that want to go. And so that's an important thing. If you join the Discord, and you can find that on my more recent con videos, you can get it out of the description. You can come into here, and what we do is we have an actual role. Where is it at? I'm so bad at these, right? But roles, you can come into here, and you can do the reaction for to get the Conflict of Nations role, and to get the looking for a con team. So if you react on here, there's 72 people that when you ping this role, they're looking to actively join a team. And so what'll happen is when you get down here at the bottom, you can come into, there's a looking for con teams. You can come in here and ping the role, and then get a 5-man group together to go join a game. We'll even start a room for you. If you contact one of these moderators or a community manager, you can get them to start a room for you that's only for you and your team, and you can communicate in here. What's great about that is that if you communicate in-game, the intel spies can actually get your in-game communications, and your enemies can see those. So if you come over to the Discord, we give you a free channel. You can just be on here. All you got to do is be a nice person on the Discord. That's all you got to do. It's simple, right? Super duper simple. All the bots, I'm still hunting. And let's see what we got. We still have no cooldown. So any questions? Like, Give me some more questions, guys. I get this all the time. Play CoN. I need some questions. I need some help. And then I go live, and you only got a couple of questions. I think you just need a hug. I don't think you need questions answered. I'm in day 17. Do you recommend start research the F-22 Raptor or start my nuclear ICBM program? Any player that's worth a crap in Conflict of Nations is going to develop anti-missiles like day 25 or day 30. They've researched all their typical main units, their 3 or 4 main units, and now they're going to go on the defense. And so you're going to do this ICBM program, you're going to get all the way through it, and you're going to fire a missile, and then any good player is going to shoot it down. You're going to be pissed that you spent all that time. And so what I would, there's some good ones, I'm sure, man. Are they still putting articles up? That's the wrong game. Let's get out of this one and get into the other game again. So really for you, what you're looking for is what's going to give me the best punch in there. So if I'm going to go, there's 13 more articles on here. How dare you pick a country and not? I used random, bro. I used random. I randomly got stuck as Belarus. I would never pick it, man. Come on, Bolivia. And you got the country I love. What are you talking about? Accept my application, Sweden. Oh, that's what we're talking about. So look, so this is it right here, right? We got a 5-man. This is actually a pretty decent start. These guys right here should be pinching together. They should be taking all these little lands in here. All of this should be Austria and Romania by the end of day 2. The reason why is you're going to connect these 2 borders, right? And then you're going to be able to pick, because what will happen is we'll probably go in on Poland. Sorry, Poland, if you're here. I don't know this to be a fact, but you're going to want to go. These 2 guys up here are going to want to push out and take Norway as soon as possible. Sorry, Norway. Hopefully, Ellie. Oh, Ellie's on here watching too. Ellie, that would be the play if it was me. And so you're going to want to defend against that and get into a good coalition, or just sign a peace treaty and let them go after other areas, right? Like if we all went into Poland, then you could be safe on there, right? Let me see. Don't ask me. Ask China. Also, what do you think about Egypt? I just talked about Egypt. Connor's role-playing. Tim, so many articles. You mentioned you cover more ground and capture more cities. How do you deal with the rogues? Ellie, that's a great question. So what I do to cover with rogues, let me take it back to that last game that we were in. I think it's this one. I'll show you what I do with rogues because it's going to make a huge difference for you moving forward, right? So I do this, and I don't understand why more people don't do it. But if you look at here, rogue, like Finland, right? Rogue. I don't know why people do this. They take a town and leave, and then it just turns to rogues on them, and it's just frustrating to watch that, even when it's my own team. But you can see, look, this is where I started, right? You can see where I came into the battle down here, and I pushed out through this, but you can look. Now, I have a unit in Marseille. The reason why I have units in there is because it matters. When you click this little eye, you hover it, it tells you, but when you click it, it gives you the background. Now, I'm at war with 7 nations. That's a lot of people to be at war with. It's a minus 14 on your morale. I also got neighboring morale of a minus 6 and a distance to HQ of minus 8 in Marseille, particularly. So I have to keep a unit, but I keep 1 unit in there. See, it's just right here, Marseille. The reason why is it tells me the chance of insurgency is 3%. So there's a 97% chance that this won't go to rogues, right? So if I go up here to Nantes and I click I again, it tells me that, look at all that. It's a minus 9 HQ, minus 4 neighbors, enemy neighbors, minus 10. The reason why is because these two are at war. If those two were green, I would have less of a chance. But I have 2 units in there, and the chance of insurgency is 0. You want to make sure that's less than 10%. Like, I'm okay. Like, if I have 1 unit in there, it's less than 10%, and it pops to rogues. At this point in the game, one unit here that's maxed out will defend against 2 rogues. So all you need to do is leave 1 infantry unit in your cities. I would say once you've maxed it out to like the either max or 1 level off max for your infantry, but you'll want to keep at least 1 unit in. And so what I do is I use the split command, and then I'll split that unit into 3 different ways. So if I have 10 infantry, I'll go 3, 3, 3. I'll leave 1 in the town, and then I'll grab all the land and have them all meet in 1 territory at the end. The reason I do that is because usually 3 units are going to move into their a war province, and that person's only going to see 3 units. Well, then those 3 get to the middle, it turns green, and then all of a sudden the other 2 packs of 3 join up, and now it's a 9 stack, and people will send like a 5 stack after it to try to kill it, and then your 9 will be in there just hammering on them. So it's kind of deception. It's kind of moving in after it turns green. That enemy can't see your troops moving. I recommend that all the time. You want to, if you've never read the book, The Art of War by Sun Tzu, it's a good read just in life and in general, and it's going to tell you, like, if your enemy perceives you to be strong, you're probably weak. If the enemy perceives you to be weak, you're probably strong. So always playing your game accordingly on there, right? I noticed you can annex maybe 1 or 2 cities before all resources gone. How do you deal with taking cities with low income? So the way I do it is this. When I look at my map and I look at the top here, and I have to know what units I'm building in that particular game. It's the reason why I normally don't start more than 4 games. And if I look at what I'm doing here, in this game in particular, I'm doing SAMs, surface to anti-air missiles, surface to air missiles. I'm doing AFVs. And so the reason why I'm doing AFVs in here, the armored fighting vehicle, is because it's always a surprise to people. They'll fly a plane close to them, and the plane will get shot down because there's like 3 of these guys in here, or they'll put them down to half, right? So it's just it's a deceptive thing, but I always end up with a lot of extra components. The only problem is that it does cost a lot of fuel to run them, and it's 1,000 electronics. So to compensate for that, when I'm annexing cities, I have to know the resources that I'm using heavily and what I'm low at. So in this one, I would annex a fuel city, and I would annex an electronic city. Like, I'm not going to research a whole lot more, so every time my research is available, I can pop down here and say, okay, well, what do I want to research? And I'm researching my SAMs. Now I can upgrade it. I have the reserves of the rares because I just didn't research everything kind of willy-nilly. So I would research a fuel and an electronic city. I'd be able to produce even more, right? Because if you look, I've got plenty of manpower. The reason why I have that much is because all of these remember I was telling you about taking provinces? All of these are worth a certain amount of manpower per day, 15. Well, what happens if I take 100 of these provinces? I'm making 1,500 extra dudes a day to turn into another unit to put on the map. And so while you're big and while you're in expansions, you have to build and put as many units on the map as you can. But make sure they're the right units for what the other players are playing. Right now, we're not getting resistance at all from this other coalition, right? There's only 2 left in the game, and we're the giant at 4K. This one's at 740. Now, it's not saying that these aren't good players. It's just that the way the map played out for us, we were able to take Africa. And so you see, we were able to green out all of Africa down here with 0 resistance. The coalition that was down here was super weak, so we chose to take them out first, grab a bunch of land, and then push up into Europe to fight the big land battle. Now, it's a shame on us that we were down here and didn't grab the last province from Egypt, the last 2 from Libya. I don't know who were the last 2 from Egypt and 1 from Libya. Whoever was down here needs to go back and take those because they're probably still at war with them. So if I look at Egypt, someone is taking, see Libya. So no one's taking a dive on it, but those are still free lands that you could take with 1 unit, right? So I would move down there. If they don't, I'm going to move a guy down there and get the free VPs. For the 1 unit. So, but for me, my play is to continue to push through Europe here. Hopefully, Ellie, that answers on the morale issue. I do get that question a lot. It's common, and it does frustrate the hell out of me for people to just move through all super quick and not take them down, right? So, always knock your opponent out 100%. Don't leave a unit or 2 out there because that means they're still in the game and you got a morale hit on you. Rogue State are just useless. They have nothing to do in the game. Just bothers me. Omar, I'm with you, bro. I'm high-fiving you virtually on that because rogues are just a pain in the butt. And when countries go to AI, like Germany is, you'll see pings all in all these random places, and it's 1 unit. It's 1 unit all the way through all this stuff. So you just got to stop and pound on these rogue units moving through. But you can usually do that, again, moving stacks of 3. Always combine your units when possible when moving on another unit, so you fire once with no defense, right? Sun Tzu is the GOAT. You got that right, man. Your Kazakhstan in the Belarus game. Hey, bro, send me right away, man. Let's not fight. Let's maintain some order in Europe, bro. Come on, Alexander. If you know your enemy, You may no need fear the results of 1,000. Someone's reading Sun Tzu. I like it, man. Get those quotes out there. I'm India, and I just solo destroyed Iran. So yeah, dude, I love a good strong country. India's one of my top 5, I would say too. I do love Poland though. Poland's just far enough to Eastern Europe where you don't get suckered into a bunch of battles. But you do need to make some allies. So I like them. I like Bolivia because it's landlocked. I don't have to focus naval too early. All I did to do is make sure I defend my borders and get some MRLS going and some air defense, and then nothing's really popping in. You can't just bomb my cities with a boat, because I hate that, man. When I'm trying to get set up and someone comes in with a cheap little boat, like, look, because here's the move, or here's the jerk move. Anybody who's playing any sort of naval, here's what you do. I'm going to tell you how to hack people like crazy. You go in here and you build one Corvette, and then you just put it on the coastline and start bombing their only port cities, right? Because they can't build a boat to come out and defend you in the first 10 days. So the first one to a Corvette that bombs cities is the winner of the naval battle in that area. So if you're like Vietnam or Thailand or any of those countries, Indonesia, Philippines, man, just build a couple of Corvettes. Now, after you get out of the first 10 days, you don't build any more Corvettes. You should be moving towards destroyers and that sort of stuff. But, that's the way to win on the... it's a totally annoying, and you have to have somebody on there. So, do I like Greece? Not a big fan of Greece, and I'll tell you why. These islands aren't connected down here. And there's this island way out in the middle of nowhere. I believe that's a Grecian, homeland of Greece. It's too disconnected, but it is just far enough outside of Europe where it's on the fringe, and so you shouldn't get attacked too much. But you really have to get the Corvette game going and keep people out of your business, man. For sure. I'm Namibia. Oh, nice. Actually, Namibia is not a bad country to play to, but it is sandwiched, I think that's down there with Angola, if I'm not mistaken, and South America, right? Yeah. So you are sandwiched in between Mozambique, Angola, and South Africa, and typically those are active players that would play those, and Congo. So you got to make peace with your neighbors to stay alive, for sure. India is the best for a good start. I think India's, again, it is top 5 for sure. We did really well in this game on Myanmar, on the game you're currently looking at. Yeah, Darth, we did. We did good on that one, and I was just explaining the move into where we hopped into Africa and pulled open all these VPs, which I think propelled us ahead, on there. So he's saying basically he's Myanmar here, so that's Darth Runyon. So that's his, he did really good. Look at that, 925, man. This is the game that I couldn't get started as Thailand. I think in the beginning of this one, didn't I get into a fight with Indonesia and you guys bailed me out? I think I got in over my head with a different country, and you guys had to come and help me, and it just got me to off to such a slow start. But we're definitely winning this game. So I tried Russia, but it's too big. Yeah, Russia. I can't put Russia in my top 5. I can't. It has 10 cities, or 9 or 10 to start. But it is so far out. It is so far away that you can't control right or left. You almost have to abandon the eastern side and focus on the western side. So it's crazy, man, to get in there. I'm not a big Russia fan. No, I don't mind the U.S. because the only real neighbor you have is Mexico and Canada, right? So, yeah, you need help. 9 hype. You're pretty hype for sure. Without allies, you'll lose Russia for sure. Billy, you got a friend B2. You don't have to friend me. Just go into one of my recent CoN videos. There's an open link. We don't make it exclusive. Our Discord's for everybody. It's just PG, our Discord. So you notice I'm not cussing on here. I'm just not a fan of that. I just rather keep it pretty plain and simple. We definitely had to take Indo to say, yeah, I thought that was the game. Yeah, China was a tough one too. I remember this game now. Yeah. Watch out for your Belarus. Namibia is coming. Yeah, I don't doubt it, man. Look, in these games where everybody gets to see my starting technique and what units I'm going to build, all I do is go build the counter for it, and then by day 15 or 20, I get overrun, and I'm okay with that. These games are for fun. I usually start a game with a target on my back, so I'm okay, man. I'm okay with that. So, I think that's it on the games matches. So, let me see how far away we are from doing a dungeon on here. I kind of want to show you guys me getting beat up on a dungeon if that's possible. Yeah, 13 minutes. So, I don't think I'm going to make it. We'll keep going, though. What other questions do you guys have? Like, what else do we got? Yo, I'm Austria. Well, thanks for inviting me in there, man. I don't spam nukes very often. I usually don't actually pull missiles out of the arsenal, to be honest. I think they're expensive, and I usually let, like, the other countries I'm playing with, I'll usually take the ground. I'll run radars. I'll run, like, THAADs. I'll run those sort of support stuff so people can jump out and take land, and I usually just kind of sit back a little bit on it, though. Russia's too big, but Putin always wins. Russia's tough, man. I don't put them in my top 5 at all. I can't get behind that. So, who is this? Knuckle Up. What up, man? What up, Knuckle Up? Hopefully you're watching on the stream. So, what other questions? Hit me up. I got a few more minutes here on the stream. I also appreciate y'all's support, man. Hitting the like button on stuff. I love the support I get on the videos. You guys are all extremely generous to be supporting me. You know, if you could watch at least 5 minutes of the video, though, that's kind of like the line that helps me get paid more when you watch 5 minutes. The link to the Discord 9Hype. If you go into my channel into recent uploads and you pop into a server, the server. There's a Discord link in the descriptions to get in. Ireland as a nation, not a big fan. They're too far removed. They're too far away. You have to play really heavy naval. And for me personally, like, I'm not a naval player. I'm a defensive naval player. I don't like to invest a bunch of resources because inevitably what happens, one of two things. The majority of the time, you're going to build up like a 25 ship army. You know, like just this fleet of vessels. And then you're not going to need them because the people who are focused ground are already moving across continents and stuff, and you can't take a ship into mainland China. So, you know, Saudi's a really good one too. They're a good starting place. Like, I do like that. You know, but my only issue with Saudi is that it's so busy around Saudi, right? So you've got the whole Gulf in here, all the way around. You got all these nations. You know, it's so much goes past here. It's hard to kind of remain a little obscure with so many nations. And like, you got Iran, you got Iraq, you got Turkey, you got India, Pakistan, Ethiopia, Egypt. Like, those are some big countries that are only 1 or 2 countries away. So Saudi's a pretty hard start place. If you like Saudi, you'll probably love Ethiopia. And the reason is you only have to defend 2 port towns, Mogadishu and Djibouti, because this is not a port town, right? So if you put like defense here, you can control this channel, and then defense here just to control your town. So I do like Ethiopia is probably. I'd say Ethiopia is probably in my top just because you can get South Sudan and Sudan really fast up here. Juba and Khartoum you can take with very little opposition, and you can go from 6 cities to 8 like super quick. So is Australia good? I think it's a bit isolated. Australia is great if you're allied with like if you could take New Zealand first of all. So that way you get more cities. And you're allied with like Indonesia and the Philippines, who usually have very strong naval, and possibly Japan. If you can get in a coalition with all those, then not all 5 have to go heavy vessels, and you can move into the mainland and start moving from there. But yeah, Australia's not a bad one to play. Not in my top 5. What would be the best European country to try and conquer Europe alone? That's a great question, man. I don't think I've had that one before. Let me look at it. I would say probably probably Germany, because they're so strong. If you can get into, you're saying to not be in a coalition. I don't know. Germany's going to have a lot of heat from Austria and France and Italy and the UK. Romania is really hard to win solo on. Maybe Poland or Ukraine, somebody who's off to the side but not in the middle of everything, possibly. Any advice on how I can deal with my situation? I'm Indian. I'm allied with the African coalition. I got right away with Indonesia, and currently the entire EU and us are left. Clash, that depends. I don't know what your board is set up like. I can't see that, so I can't give you advice on that one. But you're going to want to take as many VP in cities as you can without losing them, right? So it's useless to take a city that just gets taken back. Move slow, chew up the ground, keep producing units, make sure that you're watching your resources and annexing whatever town you need to boost resources. If you're a host of a game, you're the first one that joined. How do I kick an active player so new players can come in? You don't want to do that, Flora. Like, just take over the inactives. Just get rid of them. You don't want to deal with getting new players in. Just go and win the game, basically, and start a new game. You're going to have that. So what's happened in the past few months with CoN has been extremely good and extremely challenging at the same time. Okay, I will grab hunts. So what's happened in Conflict of Nations is they dropped the mobile game like I don't know 6 months ago or whatever it was, 3 to 6 months ago. I'm bad with time. Um, so so you have an influx of a whole bunch of mobile players coming in, which is great. But the problem is there's a lot of first time people who are just trying the game out, right? So you're gonna get a lot of level 1s to level 10s. They usually play erratically. They don't have a strategy yet, so they stack the lanes up and do all kinds of crazy stuff. That's the con of it, right? But the plus side is that you're filling more games. You're getting more active games. The player base is expanding. Like coalitions are getting bigger, alliances are getting bigger. Like the game's really getting more fun. 2 years ago, the game was dying. Like, and so I think this saved. I think the mobile app kind of saved CoN. If I could pull back the curtain on CoN and look at how their activity is, I would bet they're probably 3 to 4 times more active today than they were a year ago. They're getting 3 to 4 more times people buying gold, and then they're able to put some resources into developing the game. And they've done a really good job since 2016 of maintaining this game, upgrading it, making fixes and changes. And so like you're going to have inactive players that are trying the game out. Really what you could do is direct them to our Discord. Show them that there's a community that supports them trying to learn the game. Show them where the help section is. There are players in our Discord that are way better than me at this game, like way better. I always say that I'm an average player. I just happen to have a pretty good strategy as far as not losing, and I usually pick coalition, 5-man coalitions pretty well. So that gives me a win-loss ratio that's pretty good. If I click in here, so I played 100 games and I've won 26. 5 of them was solo wins. So I've won 31% of the games that I join into, right? So I just happened to... now this was after the first 50 games. I probably won like 2 or 3 games until I figured out coalitions. Running with a 5-man group is way better, and then you have way more fun, right? So point those new players towards resources where they can learn the game. If you go to the main CoN Discord, it's great to be there. There's a lot of people there, but it's very toxic, and it's not CoN's fault. It's just a toxic community. When people think they know everything, they just rip on people, and it's just not the place. Our Discord's not like that. If you're one of those people, don't join my Discord because we're just going to mute you or ban you. We don't put up with that kind of stuff. So, let's see. I have an artesian well on my property, and the water pressure is lousy. We have the exact same thing. I live in the country. We have a 500-foot well, and our water pressure is garbage too. I don't have any recommendations. You have to turn up the pressure on your pump, but you have to make sure the pipes in your house can support it. Ours can't because we have PVC pipes, so we can't turn the pressure up. You ever played Rise of Nations in Roblox? I've not. I don't play Roblox, but I would probably try it soon. I play Minecraft, so I don't mind playing Roblox. There's something good about breaking blocks that is that really is therapeutic after a hard day of work for sure. Let me see. Spain's good. Where is that? BT, would you be interested in playing a 4X game? Hey, Samuel, I like 4X, but I have to, like, if you would have caught me back in, like, the 23rd or 24th of the month, once we were getting ready to break into the holidays, I may have started a 4X, but I don't have the time to, so I do real estate franchise sales, and I work like 60-hour weeks, and so like YouTube is a hobby, CoN's a hobby, like it's a release, it's a getaway from all this stuff. But to play a 4X game, like there's too much that has to happen. You have to log in 8 to 10 times a day in a 4X to really maintain and react to where other players are moving on the map, and I just don't have the time for that, even with the mobile version. So I have to pass on that offer to play a 4X, man. What country should I invade if I play Germany? You want to go after all the AI countries, so you want to go after Netherlands, Belgium, you want to go into like Czechia, Slovakia, like you want to kind of partner all that and knock the AIs out. I was thinking about Britain. Britain's not a bad one, but again, you're going to have to take Ireland early to get the extra cities. You're going to have to play naval. You're going to have to probably have some sort of air support, and you got to get subs, and then it's kind of crazy. Spain's good. I like Spain, but Spain is a smaller country. I think it's 5 cities, I believe. So it's hard to start with. Also have a Thailand game. I like Thailand. Going for my first solo win, which country should I be? You're going to want to take anywhere between a 6 to 10 city nation from the start and really do so. Hey, Donnie. Hey, man, I appreciate that $1.99. That's going to go towards starting the Bedrock server for sure. But yeah, you want to start, if you want to do a solo win, you definitely want to work your political, flex your political muscle, ally with some people, get some right-of-ways, ally with a bigger coalition, get them some information if you can to help out, keep them away from you until you can outgrow them if you can. Let's see. These are some good questions, man. These are some good questions. Both my solo wins are random. Yeah, I can't remember. I know I got one solo win, really weird. I was in a 5-man coalition, and a couple people went inactive. And then, like, I was trying to drop to reorganize, and when I dropped, I had over 1,800, and I won. There's a couple. I did, like, 2 of mine are kind of bogus solo wins, but the rest are legit without gold, too. It also brought a lot of golders, but that is good for them. I'll address the golding issue, because that comes up a lot. It's going to happen, and we run into golders all the time. Like, it's just part of the game, and I'm okay with that. Like, it's entertainment. I consider that if you want to drop $20, that's like going to a movie and buying a popcorn and a drink. You're going to spend $20, probably more nowadays, unless you're going to get COVID at the movie theater. But you know what I'm saying. If someone wants to drop 20 or even $100 on a game and win, man, that's fantastic. But they're not going to do that a lot. If you happen to be in one of those games, just drop out, archive it, GG them, tell them good win, and move on. That's why I think my wins are only 31%. I would say I've lost at least 25 games to golders, so I'd have a better record, but I'm okay with that. It also brought a lot of golders. Yep, I'm in for my first solo win. Solo win. Second was Chile. That's a nice one. I don't prefer Chile because it's so hard to defend. Somebody messaged me in Dutch. You had to go and convert that to English for me. Sorry, I'm back to answer this question. You ever played Rise of Nations? I have not. 9 hype. Man, it's hard to keep up with all these texts. If there was one country you would make playable, what would it be? Well, most of the countries are playable. 4x4s, yeah. How do you find empty games at CoN? Yeah, so, all right. So, yeah, let's, Peter, that's a good question, too, right? So, when I'm looking to start a CoN game, let me go and update this real quick. We got to keep moving in this, oh, that's going to be a terrible one. I'm at the feed 4 times. And it's probably going to leave and get bored. No, it's following. Whoop, tier 2, holla. All right, so, and then chainsaw it out. Let me see, probably only a couple of minutes. Oh, 30 seconds from a dungeon, so you guys get to see my dungeon side. But all right, so if I'm looking for new games, when I go in here to new games, and this is important, like as it comes up. So, what's up, Kevin? I see you, buddy. Thanks for the shout out. 1x is slow, but you just kind of get used to it. When you play 4x so much, yeah, I like to sleep exactly, Donnie. So here's what I look for in a new game. I'm not a big fan of all the quirky games. I'm a true classic style play guy. I like the World War III. We've played Overkills and Rising Tides, and I've done some Apocalypse. I'm in one of the Americas games now. But here's what I look for. I'm not going to join this game. It's a 4X, first of all, which means I'm not going to join it. But it's day 2 and it has 1 slot open. So I'm not going to join that. That 1 slot is going to be North Korea with 3 cities or 4 cities to start. You're gonna, unless you're golding, you're not going to be able to win. Now, these ones are day 1s, right? So this one's a Flashpoint, which is a small 30-nation game. I don't prefer those. It's Europe. But this one is 22 slots on day 1. That's not a bad one to join, but those 22 slots are going to be all the crappy 4 and 5 cities and maybe 1 or 2 6-city nations, but you're going to have to go in there and pick the right nation in there. This one of 1, that's going to be North Korea. It's like all these 1 of 1s. I don't go into these, right? So what I would do is I would keep scrolling. And then I would do, but here's what'll happen. In order to get new games to pop, you would need to fill this game, right? And then that would, because it's day 1 on a World War III game, if that would watch. So if I go to join this match, right? And it's actually, see that filled. So if I redo this, you're going to see a brand new game of CoN has opened, watch. So you're going to see that there's another one. So this one's 2 of 1 and this one's 1 of 20. So when this one fills, when this game fills the 20 players, it's going to open up another one, right? So you would need to wait for that to fill. So what I do is I look for games. If I wanted to join a 4X right now, I could join this one, right? So let's see. Yeah, it's going to let me in. Now what happened is the game thinks that the game, CoN now thinks that this game is locked up, But if I look, the only open one is I could play Libya, which is not a bad one to play, right? But now CoN thinks that that's locked up, and so yeah. See, there's someone's trying to fill it now. It's 2 for 2. You see what happens, right? So every 10 minutes it'll clear, and then if it's truly filled up, it'll tell you. But if that fills with 2 more players right now, a new game of 4X would actually pop on there. So yeah. All right. Well, let's. I'll show you this dungeon real quick. You can see me getting an epic smackdown. Epic quest. Let's do this. See if we can make another level. We did, which is good. It's 5 more hit points. We've got the Omega Sword. We've got an Omega Armor here. So I'll tell you, I go to this server called the Chill RPG Room. And in the Chill RPG Room, there are different bots that help you out with the different ones. So we're in D14. And then it's recommended. Let me see. So like this person beat it with 1300, but I can tell you, let's go ahead and give it a try. This one's a hard one, so you gotta have 1080 defense, and the dragon's watching. Now, here's what happens. There's a helper in here. When I move up to this first square, it's gonna come down here, and I can check and tell me how many moves. To beat it, the first one's gonna tell me that 1743. Now it found a 1252. I need it to be less than 1063, or I'm gonna have to make another move, right? So if that goes down below 1063, nope, see the lowest is 1127, and the first move is up to red. So if I go left to blue, it's going to knock me down, but now I can retest it, and it has to be less than 1030. 1732. You used to join 634 games to get a new game out, so I have 284 joined games with only 17. Yeah, Samuel, you don't actually have to go in the game, you just have to hit join. And it will go down. The best is 916. We're in luck. We're going to be able to get through here, right? So now down to 828. We're going to actually pass D14 today. Wood. So when it finds the best result, it'll click down and tell me the first move. And I got an invite from someone to this server. It's a little bit of an exclusive server. So I can't send out invites. Don't ask me for it. But just, what I would do is I would find these guys, right? These guys at the top here, and ask for access to it. So, all right, come on now. So the first move up to green, it's going to knock the poison off. Then up to yellow. You just kind of follow what it says to do, and you should be able to clear it. Burp. Man, it knocked me all the way back down to the bottom, man. How is that a good move? Yeah, it does. It does show it is filled on there. Are we going to be able to beat this? Did the game juke me? Did the game give me some bad information here on this bot? No, up to green. Got it. What do you mean check the board? What do you mean check the board? What the heck, man? 609? Oh, man, we're going to barely make it. Right to orange. Up. Why is it checking the board again? Oh man, did the game just psych me out? 517, are we gonna make it? Oh, we're not gonna make it! What's going on? Come on, man. So, what's my move here? Why is the bot jacking up today, man? I think it knows 511 now. Yeah, we're done. We done. Let's go down. Let's start it over. Can I get to a brown square is what I need. I need a brown square. Let's see if it can put me closer. Put me further away. Yep. Well, we are not going to pass it this time. Man, that's too bad. Let's go right. Come on, put me on the... Yeah, there we go. All right, now let's check it now. Can we get it lower than 285? We can't. So let's go up to another brown square. Oh, it put me so far away. Why are you going to do me like that, game? Man. Let's go down. This game, man. Come on, put me over closer. Yeah, we pretty much lost this one. We ain't gonna win. Let's just nail it out. And we die. We'll go again later on. Womp womp. All right, back to any more questions about CoN. How can I join this server? Yeah, I can't. I got a private invite to that. The other one fill into the spots. Anyways, about Chile, it's a really good underrated country, especially if the good person takes it. Yeah. Chile's good. It's so stretched so far. So I'll show you what we're talking about. Is that Chile is right here. There's so many towns all up and along and down here, but it's really hard to defend. Argentina can just knife right in and take, the capital, which is hard, to recover. I forget where the capital is down here. Santiago, maybe? Or La Serena? I don't know, but it's just hard to keep Chile. There's too many ways to get it taken on there. So anyway, guys, that's good for the server. I got to go deal with the chickens before it gets totally dark here. But hope you guys had a good time, and